To help facilitate correct left hand position, mark the base of the first finger with an X and draw a line at the crease where the index finger meets the palm. Place the instrument in rest position. Shake hands with the neck of the instrument. The X should touch the neck and the line visible just above the neck. The thumb should be lengthened and straight. Before the fingers are placed on the strings, strumming, tapping, and plucking games help to develop good hand position and get the pinky finger over the strings while keeping tension out of the left hand and arm. If the student's left hand position is correct, the fingers can all remain over the fingerboard when not in use, which does require a slight rotation of the forearm. Strum and then tap all 4 fingers on a string. Pluck each string 4 times with the 4th finger. This is the ants game. Sing the ants song with students while you pluck the strings. If you are teaching a class with violas and cellos, your ants can go all the way to China.
Everywhere, 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 everywhere there's ants, ants, ants. Digging in the dirt, dirt, dirt. Going in the ground, ground, ground. All the way to China, 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 China.
A game you can play with violin and viola students away from the instrument to help develop correct left arm rotation is the Smell the Pinky game. Draw a smiley face or place a sticker on the side of the student's hand at the base of the pinky. Raise the left arm into position used for playing the violin or viola, and then bring the left hand back towards the face and ask the students to touch the smiley face or the sticker to the tip of their nose. Bring the arm away from the face and repeat this several times. To bring the left hand into position when holding the instrument in playing position, use the fly the butterfly technique as shown here to move the left hand from the shoulder of the instrument into first position. Curve and tap the fingers on the strings and pluck the ants song. The basic position for the fingers should be naturally curved over the fingerboard, and the fleshy point of the fingertip should make contact with the string. The wrist should be straight. Finger placement markers can be helpful for developing a correct hand frame and finger placement in the beginning weeks of instruction. When the hand frame is well established, the tapes should be removed. Many students use tapes for first, high second, and third finger on violin and viola because these are the pitches that students play in the beginning weeks of instruction. The great violin pedagogue Ivan Galamian suggested that placement of the fingers should be the determining factor for the placement of the thumb and elbow. Galamian wrote, "The fingers have to be placed in such a way to allow them the most favorable conditions for their various actions. Once the player places the fingers correctly on the fingerboard, everything else, the thumb, the hand, and arm, will find its correct place." In addition to the X and line drawn at the base of the first finger, another game you can use with your students to establish proper wrist and thumb position is the wormhole. When the left hand is placed on the instrument and all the fingers are curved and making contact with the strings, a small opening should be seen between the webbed fleshy part of the hand between the thumb and first finger and the bottom of the neck. The opening should be large enough so the teacher can place a pencil or a worm through the opening. All of the fingers work together. When the second finger is down on the string, so is the first. When the fourth finger is down, all the fingers are down. This is a very important principle of left hand technique. Play a game with your students to develop this principle and develop their left hand technique. Start with all 4 fingers down on the same string. Beginning with the fourth finger, lift off 1 finger at a time, then place them back down one at a time. Ask your students, how far do you need to lift the finger off the string so it isn't touching the string? About 1 millimeter or so is the usual answer, and that becomes the challenge. Barely lifting off the string, always keeping the fingers curved, always above the fingerboard, and always working together. These are the foundations that will lead to correct intonation and the ability to play fast. An important principle for all the string instruments is that the finger shape remain consistent. Many young string students develop approximate intonation because they are inconsistent with the shape of their fingers as they press down on the string. One game you can play with young string students to help strengthen their fingers and make them aware of their finger shape is called finger lift-ups. Start with the first finger down on the string. Lift off and place back down on the string 5 times. Place the second finger down while keeping the first finger down. Lift the second finger off and replace 5 times without lifting the first finger. Then lift and replace first and second fingers together 5 times. Remind students to keep their finger shape consistent and always press down the string with the same part of the tip of their finger. Continue this exercise with third and fourth fingers. Some students will have problems with their fingers hyperextending as they press down, especially with the weaker fingers. They must train their fingers to bend the correct direction.